Hello and welcome to Goddard Farms. We're back with another episode of Edgewater, Saskatchewan, and we have moved time forward. We're in the second week of September here. I'm running with 4-day seasons, which means each day represents a week. For me, that's going to be the easiest way to kind of think about things. And we realized after I moved the time forward that we still had this Proforce spreader leased from the co-op there because they sent us a bill. How kind of them. And it is still full of lime, and we bought this new field, which reminded me we kept a hold of this thing simply so that we could put lime on the new field that we purchased. So we're gonna run out here and do that real quick here. This field is not that large, and this spreader has a wonderfully wide spread pattern on it. So this is only gonna take just a moment. And I think this is going to wrap up all of the work that we have to do this fall. We're not going to bother running tillage out here. I think we're just going to let the lime soak down into the ground here over winter. I think a lot of times you would maybe come in with a light piece of tillage and stir it into the soil. I think we're just going to let it go. And when we seed in the spring, it'll get mixed in at that point. I'm honestly not really that sure. I know talking to BC Bueller and South Saskatchewan that they don't really spread a lot of lime up in this area. They're usually doing more potash and stuff like that, but this is what we have and what we need for precision farming. So we're just going to toss it on here to make sure that we get a decent yield on our crops. I do love the precision farming, being able to shut things off automatically when we're in an area that doesn't need anymore. The wonders of technology here. And this field isn't even big enough for me to bother with a GPS track. We're just going to wing it and get everything spread on here real quick, trying to cover some of these little bits that I miss when I'm turning around. Oh my goodness, we're getting hung up on something there. Didn't quite hit that axle, so I thought we had some room, but there must be a little bit of an invisible collision somewhere. That's all right. And I'm probably overlapping a little more than we need, but I'd rather overlap and make sure we get everything than have some little bits and pieces that we missed. I've been warned by South Saskatchewan that the winter snow on this map is quite excessive in that they've made some changes in order to have a larger volume of snow than the base game normally allows. And that has me really intrigued because I have not really had to do any kind of snow removal or anything like that in any of my playthroughs yet. So I'm really excited to jump into winter next year and see how that's going to be when we're ready to start hauling our crops up to the elevator. We've got a little bit of canola and a little bit of flax in the silos, the bins there, that we need to run up to the co-op at some point. Probably in, I think, late December, early January was when that price point's going to be in a good spot. So I'm really hoping we have snow for that, just because it'd be fun to have to deal with it. Well, we've spread all the lime on this field, and surprisingly, we used up the bulk of what was in this container. I really didn't think it was going to take that much, but looking at the soil type that we've got, it did need a little bit more than I originally eyeballed, which is fine. I see I missed just a little corner piece right here. I'm going to spin around and see if we can hit that, since we do have some lime left in the hopper. This 12% that we've got, that spot's not actually missed. It's just a difference between precision farming's registering of it and the graphical part. But we're going to dump this 2.7 cubic yards that we have up near the shed. We'll keep that pallet for some later point. We probably won't apply lime again for another few years. I think generally the rotation is, 2 to 4 years, somewhere in there. 3 is probably the sweet spot. So we'll continue to use pH out of the soil as time passes, but not something we're going to have to worry about for a while. And I'm just going to toss this versatile in the shed for now. Keep everything nice and orderly. We did end up cleaning all of our equipment up from fall, getting everything stored up. So we've got the combine in here now, grain carts back put away, and the semis in the shed there. We're going to grab the Bobcat here real quick and see if we can put these pallets into the shop to store them. I'm trying to think about where I want to store my excess materials. I think we're gonna store it in here. I don't feel as good about the other shed just because it's not, I'm not sure it's completely waterproof. There may be a few leaks there somewhere. So I think what we're gonna do is put this stuff in this big shop here, maybe along this wall over here. So let's get the semi fired up here as well. We may end up with the combine in here to work on it or something at some point, but I think we can store the combine in the other shed. And I'm gonna just move the semi over to this side. All right, let's see how this works out. It's been a minute since we've done pallets the legitimate way. There we go. Nothing to it. And this thing turns on a dime. I love it. I'm gonna jump out into the external camera here for a moment. I think we're actually gonna put them all the way just along the back wall here, especially the lime. I don't see us needing it anytime soon. And it's gonna be a little bit easier. I won't have to move the truck again. There we go. And we'll just grab this second one. It's actually, surprisingly, easier to do in cab for once. I can actually see my implement, know what we're doing. There we go. The good old slide it onto the forks a little bit better. The steering's a mite touchy on stuff like this with the keyboard. Ideally, if I was using a joystick or something, I could do this a lot smoother. So I apologize if it's a little jerky, but we're getting it done. And there we go. Our pallet's all loaded up in here. Nice, nicely done. We're gonna go drop this pallet fork back off in the shed. And then we're going to be picking up a little bit of a surprise here to help us get ready for the winter weather. So we've picked up a set of snow removal equipment here. We've got this Snow Wolf blade that should, I think, work on the front of our Bobcat here. So we're going to be trying that out. Hook up the hoses here. And this thing looks really cool. I like these box blade style snow plows. If we open things up here, I think, in addition to moving my arms around, I have the ability to open and close these wings. I can do either side independently so that you can kind of control how you're going to be pushing the snow. I think for us, we're going to be just using this mostly to push stuff into piles, so I'm going to do it like this, and I have the ability to rotate the whole thing as well, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get a chance to put this to the test. I do think I should get a joystick set back up at some point though, and wire all this up to it. It'll be a little bit more fun. However, I'm going to go ahead and get this all set up, and we'll put it, we're actually going to put this in the shed maybe here so that we're ready to go when the snow does eventually show up. And we've got plenty of room here, if we're careful not to take out the door, to just back this thing right up into here. Oh, looking good. And then for the bulk of the snow removal, we've got a snow blower here for in the yard, which I think is gonna actually end up being a little bit easier to use. I'm really hoping that this white has the oomph to be able to power the snowblower. It's a pretty big implement here. And I'm mostly just worried about the white having enough traction to kind of keep it going. We had a similar setup back in the day that we ran on the back of a 4240, and we did occasionally run into issues with it, but for the most part it worked out pretty good. Lift it up here. You can see the weight coming off of the front wheels as we lift this giant snowblower up, but it does seem to be working. And similar to the other implement, this one's got some cool options. I think this I can rotate and adjust the chute. Yep, good deal. This is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. I'm gonna get this lower. Did I remember to hook up the PTO? I did not. There we go. All right. Yeah, it fires up. Everything seems to be running good. So let's get this in. We're going to leave this one in the other shed here just for a matter of room and not wanting to shuffle equipment around. And we'll make sure everything's plugged in and ready to go so that we can hit the snow if/when it comes. But we'll get everything closed up here for at least the time being. Well, we've moved the time forward into December and it has just started snowing here. It looks quite beautiful, but we don't have quite a lot just yet. It just started snowing. It rained through a good chunk of November here. And I have to say, I love the squishy snow noises as you walk around. Looks like I dropped a smidgen of some kind of a crop here in the yard at some point, and that's gonna mess with the snow mask. That's fascinating. We'll have to see if I can scrape that off with the blade or how that's gonna work. But yeah, so we've got a few more days into December that I want to get. We're watching the market prices on our flax, and they are going up, so we're going to hold on to our flax for at least another day here and see how it goes. If anything, this is going to allow us to kind of get a good indication of how much snow is on the ground. We got another bit of snow overnight. You can see it piled up here. We've got a couple inches on the ground now. Not quite enough to cover up all the grass, but it's definitely starting to stack up. I'm kind of curious what this spot out in the field is. Same kind of a thing. We've got a little bit of that flax chaff on the ground here. Some cut grass over here in places. So we'll have to do a better job of cleaning up after ourselves in the fall, obviously. And we've let things go here through December 3rd, mostly because, well, the snow is coming down all day and I'm a glutton for punishment. I really want to see the yard get covered here. So as we move into the 4th day of December, you're going to see we've completely covered up all of the grassy areas that we were seeing before, and it's just starting to pile up here. We've got a solid 6+ inches on the ground now. Absolutely loving this, and we're going to be getting the snow equipment out here as soon as the daylight comes and play around with cleaning up the yard. All right, we're here in the 4th week of December now. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of snow starting to stack up here, and our prices on flax and canola are pretty good right now. So I think it's going to be time to see if we can dig our way out of the yard here and run that grain on up to the elevator. Now it looks like the county comes by and cleans up the roads, even our little dirt road here, which is awesome. I was actually getting really worried about that because we don't have any mods to do big road snow clearing at this point. So that's going to make our lives easier. We really just got to worry about our own farmyard, which is how it should be in real life. I'm excited though. We're gonna get these the snowblower and the skid steer pusher mod here out of the sheds and check things out. Oh, I can't wait. So first things first, we're going to be leveraging the Field Boss here. We're gonna get the trusty white going with the snowblower. We're gonna try and do a little bit of this in cab just to start out with. See if I can figure out how to throw some snow. And I'm just going to back this all the way up here into the woods. You know what? This is working awesome so far. I'm going to go ahead and just clear a couple passes right by the shed, get the doorway all cleaned out in case for whatever reason we need to get something else out of here. I don't know what or why we would need to do that, but you never know. And this is working great. Let's go out of cab just so we can kind of get a better feel for this mod and how everything's working out. Going to go this way. Now, what it doesn't look like it's piling it back up when it blows. It's just kind of blowing away, which, you know, it's getting rid of the snow. probably a little bit easier that way. I am going to need to have all of the augers cleared away here, so I'm going to grab that with this snowblower here, because I know if I try to do it with the blade, we're going to run into problems. And oh no, we've done something bad. This snow is deeper than it looks, and this tractor is gonna get stuck if we try to drive through all that snow. So let's try and be careful not to jam ourselves into these augers. Woo, that was close. Get this all cleared up. So yeah, so if you're looking for a great snowblower mod, this, what's it called? Pronovost works really well. And I'll put a link in the description of the video to the modder that I got both of these mods from. Came from the same guy. CR Modding. I think I got them over on Mod Network, which is, I believe, where they've been released. But yeah, this snowblower is working out great. I'm definitely liking our ability to just blow the snow out of the way, no problems. I'm trying to find our driveway here. We're driving all over the grass under the snow, but there is an actual driveway here somewhere. We might need to put down some markers at some point, but we're just kind of stumbling our way around, finding the driveway as we go. Not too far from reality, and I'm not sure how I would actually do this in real life, but I think I'm just gonna turn around and blow this back the other way. Now, there's a few different versions of this snowblower. There's also one if you had a front attached 3-point that you could mount it to the front, and there's a smaller version of it. This is the bigger version. I think if you had like a utility tractor or something, there is a snowblower that's a little bit smaller than this that you could use. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a good snowblower mod. This one's working awesome. We'll go back in cab and do our third pass on the driveway here with the in-cab view. We go all the way up to the end here and see if we can widen out the actual driveway. Now, I don't think there's traffic on this road. I think the traffic's only on the main roads that we have to worry about. Always good to check, though. But yeah, this thing is just blowing the snow like crazy. Oh, we're missing a bit. Let's get back on track here. There we go. Oh, oh. Should probably avoid running into those bushes with the snowblower. I don't think that's gonna end well for the internal components. And we are gonna be coming through here in a loop where I think we're gonna have to make more than one pass, so we will need to clean out the rest of the driveway over there. But I think what I want to do is we'll take this up into the yard here. I want to switch over and try out the blade, which we've got on the front of the skid steer right now. So I'm gonna leave this thing right here, and we're gonna jump over here and try out our other fun toy. We'll start out in cab. I wish I didn't have to have the windshield wipers on in the winter when it's snowing, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. Oh dear. We're gonna go out of cab just so that we can kind of get a feel for height and stuff on this snow blade. So unlike the blower, the snow blade's actually gonna push the snow, and as you can see, we've got just a ginormous amount of snow. And yes, I know I'm actually pushing it right now in a straight pattern, where for a snowplow, what we'd probably want to do is turn this blade. Oh, doing it the wrong way. There we go. We're going to turn that blade, and in this case, I want to open this wing up like something like this, and then I think this should push a whole lot better as we try this out. So I'm gonna lower this down. We're getting all kinds of snow in the shop here. Let's see if we can clean this up. We're not quite down. Oh, there we go. Alright, now let's see how this works compared to what we were doing. Oh, that's so much better. We're not getting slowed down at all. And look at those snow effects. Oh, that's so awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and push all of this snow over. We're going to just widen the yard out here, I think, a bit. This is working awesome. Now, honestly, I think the snowblower works a little bit better, but this is probably a bit more realistic. I don't know if I'd snowblow my whole yard. Actually, I guess I have done that in the past. But I think this, in the grand scheme of things, is a little bit faster. Oh, we're getting hung up a little bit here. Let's see if we raise this up a bit. Oh, oh, oh. Bobcat's losing traction. Now, I don't think the Bobcat would be able to quite push this much snow with this kind of a blade like this, so that part might not be super realistic, but what I like is seeing the big piles of snow. I prefer to have piles of snow rather than see it all go away like it was with the snowblower, so a little bit of a trade-off, but this is cool, this is fun. If you're into more of the roleplay style of things and you want to do all this, you could definitely set up some kind of a snow removal scenario, go plow people's driveways and stuff in town. Good times. I think that's going to be plenty wide enough though for over here. We do need to widen out the rest of the driveway though. So I'm going to take a pass with this thing and then maybe we'll go clean up with the snowblower. I'm going to go just around this loop and see if I can find the road. Oh, we're going to have to clean that out for sure. But I know we've got the driveway like right here. Oh, the Bobcat, she's struggling a bit. Oh, we're way off of the driveway too. Probably doesn't help that we're ripping through all the grass trying to do this. Oh, and it looks like I was blowing the snow over here and I just wasn't paying attention because that's not from the plow. That's all the snow I was blowing with the snowblower. Oh, that's cool. So it is actually blowing snow over here with the snowblower when I'm using it. Well, good to know. I just need to pay more attention. We're gonna rocket ourselves over that snow pile. It was way deeper than I was anticipating. And I'm gonna do one pass going the other way, and then we'll switch back over to the snowblower, I think, to finish this off, just because I am not as good of a driver as I'd like to be. And I think we're gonna make a bigger mess than anything if we do it any other way. Now, I'm gonna bury our trailers here. I don't want to bury the trailers. Let's straighten this up. I'm gonna put the box flaps back out like this, and I'm gonna try and spin around here and see if I can move that pile away from those trailers. I want to see how that's gonna work out for us, so we'll do that, and then we'll get the blower out to inevitably clean up our mess. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. Trying to find a good balance of height on the blade and angles and such. Here we go. Oh, this is working out actually better than I anticipated. I'm just going to push this big pile up here off of the driveway a bit. We're leaving a little bit on the ground there. Didn't get as clean of a scrape as I would have liked. That's all right. I don't want to get too far into this mess. We'll never get back out of it. There we are. Well, let's see if I can, whoa, push some snow into our trailer apparently. Oh, we're getting quite the pile here. I'm digging it. All right, let's try that in cab. Here we are. I'm not quite as confident in where my blade is when I'm in cab from like an angle and height perspective, so I'm gonna get that adjusted and then we'll go in cab for the push. It's got the cool snow rolling animations coming up over as we're pushing here. Very nice. Oh, this is looking good. And man, the snow's coming down still. I'm worried that with how long this is taking me to do, we're gonna have another layer of snow add up here before I can get it all cleared out. need to open up this spot in front of the shed so I can get stuff in and out of here. Something like that. There we go. And let's switch back over to the blower for a minute and see if I've got an easier time cleaning some of this up with that. You know, it's not that late, but it's starting to get dark. We're gonna get the lights all turned on here as well. And I think what I want to do is try and blow this back and maybe that way. Try and angle it up a bit. I'm not seeing it actively pile up while we're doing this, but it was obviously doing it from looking at the other side, so we're going to try and adjust our blow angle while we're backing up here. And that pile's pushing me around a little bit. I'm going to cut it over here to the left, and I'm going to try and just clean up all of this mess that we left here. There we go. That's working a lot better. And I'm going to take another pass here, see if I can widen this out a bit. It looks like I found the driveway, the bulk of the driveway here. We'll come back for that other pile in a second. I want to widen this part out. Something like this. Well, this is where that blade comes in handy because I can't really blow into the truck. Or I don't really want to, so we're not going to do that. And then, yeah, I'm going to spin around and grab this other pile. And then we just have a bit up in the front of the sheds that we probably need to knock out, and we'll be ready to start hauling some grain, I think. Oh yeah, you can see when I point it down, it is actually blowing it onto the ground there. Very nice. Well, we blew it all into the wrong spot, so we better clean this up. There we go. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, I won't lie. I'm not, I didn't know how well I would like doing snow removal in Farm Sim, but these mods make it actually kind of fun. There's a lot more to it than I expected. And yeah, I am glad that we set things up in such a way to try this out, and that we advanced our clock significantly to make sure that we would get a chance to try this in deeper snow. I've not seen snow quite this deep on any of the other playthroughs I've done, so this is proving to be quite awesome. Controlling which way I'm driving and which way I'm blowing at the same time is a little bit interesting. I have no idea exactly where all that snow is going, but somewhere into the woods. However, I think this is going to be a great place to wrap up today's episode. We're going to take a pause. We spent a lot more time doing snow removal than I anticipated, and I'll be honest, it was a lot more fun than I was expecting. So hopefully you've enjoyed the episode, something a little bit different today. And join me next time as we get all of our grain harvested and move into the spring months here to get back into the farming. I can't wait to be planting some of the new crops that we've got coming out on this map. It's gonna be a blast. That's all for today. Kedrick out. I should have probably just gotten the truck out of here. Really. I don't even know what's going on right now. This is why nobody does pallets.